Like, it's one thing to believe that that Michael is still alive. Like, okay, when a celebrity passes away, it tends to happen often. It happened with Elvis. It happened with Tupac, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley. Like, there's always going to be a group of people that are going to be in denial, or even if they're not in denial, they're just going to have their own opinion. You know, some people are going to think that there are some people out there that still believe Tupac are alive. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has their own opinion, and that is absolutely fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Even though, me personally, I'm a strong believer in the fact that Michael Jackson is no longer with us, sadly. It's one thing to say, I think Michael is still alive, but it's a whole nother thing to say he's alive and talking to me. You know? So I guess that's what made me want to look into things even more seriously. When something like that is said, you can't just ignore it. Like, when I found out that she was talking to Michael, and I did the research, and it all led back to Medina, because, you know, I got into Elle's account, her Hotmail account and whatnot, and I saw that it was all coming from Medina's accounts. You know what I mean? Like, so I managed to link them all to Medina. Like, Elle was pretty clueless when it came to that kind of stuff. Like, she didn't realize it. When you're caught up in a moment, you don't realize that, you don't see the negative side of things. You're kind of blinded to certain aspects, you know? And so it takes someone sometimes from the outside to jump in and say, no, this is what's happening. You know, it happens all the time. It's like when people say that love is blind, you know? It's like when they say that, you know, when you're in love, when you're in a relationship, you don't see all the bad sides. But then when you're out of it, you're like, what the hell? And you realize everything that went wrong. It's kind of like that in this situation. It took someone from the outside to jump in and, like, to show, you know, what's truly happening. And that's what happened here. I ended up, like, leading it all back to Medina. And that's when I told Elle and I showed her. Obviously, when I found out that it was all Medina, I was disgusted, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell everyone. You know, that's like the natural reaction that someone would get. They'd just be like, I'm going to tell everybody, you know, what's happening. And that's how it kind of was with me. Like, I was just like, oh my God, how can you do something like that? You know, pose as someone who is so dearly loved and admired by so many people that has passed away, you know, for you to be pretending to be that person. That's wrong on so many levels. Like, I was I was disgusted and horrified, and just, I didn't know what to do, but I knew for a fact that I had to tell my best friend, and I had to get Elle to realize what was happening. So I show that it's linked to Medina. I show that it was Medina the whole time, and Elle gets devastated, like absolutely devastated, and it broke my heart to watch that. It was so hard for me because, like, this didn't go on for a few days, you know, like, oh, I just got one email from Michael Jackson. No, this was constant daily talking to someone, you know, on a daily basis. To find out that someone that you're talking to isn't who you're talking to, that's a big thing. And for that person to be Michael Jackson, that's a big deal. And that had such an impact on Elle. I don't think I'll ever forget, like, how she reacted. That was just, it was so hard to watch. Me being her best friend and not being able to do anything besides tell her the truth. It was so hard for me. But I felt like it was the right thing to do. I had to do it. I had to tell her that it was Medina, because would you rather live a life based on a bunch of lies, you know, constant lies, or would you rather know the truth and have that, you know, upset you? At this point, Medina gets very aggressive. She realizes what's happening. She realizes that I told Elle, and she starts sending me death threats, which is really ironic, because I saw her tweet about death threats. I've actually got that here somewhere. I got that here with me, saved. She tweeted, "Death threats are never okay. That is a cowardly way to deal with things. We are human beings. Let's act civilized." Now that's really ironic because I've also got emails saved with me of her sending me death threats. So for her to be all hypocritical, I don't know, that's really funny. I'll actually read to you a few death threats that she sent me. Let me just show you. Here. This is dated in 2011, early 2011, and this is from Medina. And she says, "Fucking bitch, you'll pay for this. I will kill you. I will kill all of you, just how you killed us." And this is straight after I exposed her to Elle. Then there's another one where she's saying, excuse my language, slut, whore, skank, sorry for the swearing, just wait, you ain't seen nothing yet. And that's dated in 2010. There's another one here from 2010 where she wrote, "Do not ever, ever, ever talk to Elle again, Aya. You understand, you'll regret it so bad. I hate you more than the demons in the deepest pits of hell. I hope you die, Aya. That is all, Medina." There's also another one here saying, "God, I'm hating you more and more each second. I honestly would not care if someone shot you in your pathetic face right now." And these are all straight from my email. Like, I'm just going to attach them to this video so you can take a look for yourself. This is her lashing out at me after I showed that all of the emails that were coming from Michael Jackson were coming from her account, and so she got really angry, and this is why, you know, she started sending me all these death threats. That went on for some time. It actually went on for a while, and it got me depressed, like genuinely depressed, to the point where I was suicidal. Like it hit me hard. It hit me really hard. And it's not actually something I like to talk about because the state that got me in, you know, with her lashing out at me and sending me constant death threats to my emails, you know, waking up to all these emails and stuff, that hit me hard.